Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, Lynette here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm jumping in and creating one more time in my New Beginnings journal. This is actually the last process video I will be sharing here on my channel. The next video you see in this journal will be my final flip through. So yeah, I'm super excited. So today I'm jumping in and I'm going to be playing with some packaging that came in one of my Amazon packages. I have done this in the past and it's in one of my earlier collections, and I just really love writing over this packing paper with a white gel pen. It's just a lot of fun when I go to journal. So that's what I'm doing first here in this video. I'm going to add it to 3 separate pages, and I'm just going through and tearing the pieces that I want to work with. So I decide to use it on the back of this stationery paper that's in the book. It is stark white, and sometimes I like to add paint to those or cover up over those. Sometimes I leave them as is and I don't really care, but I thought those would be good pages to add the packing paper to. So this is super simple. I'm not being precise or anything. I'm just using my tear ruler and I'm cutting a piece down about 1/4 of an inch from the edges that will fit inside of that book page. So I have that one. I have that center little torn piece. I like the added character that that tear has. And then I'm going to flip to the other side of that letterhead book page, and I'm going to create a torn piece of paper for that also. So I decided to take them over to my sewing machine and just put a zigzag stitch around the edges of all of these papers before I add them to my journal. I just used the pink thread that was already in there, and I just like the added texture and character that it brings to the pages after they're in the book. So I am just going to start by gluing in these pieces of paper.
I had it all figured out. Knew which road I would go down. Thought I could do it all on my own. But then you came around. When fate has its way and things fall into place, all the plans you made don't make sense anymore. Honey, I am sure that love was a good detour. That love was a good detour. Well, I had the mountains on my mind, but I was supposed to find
Now that I have all of my packing paper glued in, I'm loving it. I love that look. I decided to get into my folder of collage scraps and play around with those a little bit and just jazz up these book pages slightly. So I'm just making a couple collage strips here, and I used that Edith Holden book page in the back, and then I like the flourish pattern on this little scrap here. I'm going to be adding that next. And this is my super fancy gold painted glassine sheet. Actually, it's not glassine, it's vellum. I love those large sheets of vellum. If that's something that you're interested in, I was super happy when I found that. I'll leave a link for it in the description box down below, but I love some of it's coffee dyed, some of it's painted, and I just like that little piece added to my little collage strip here. So I'm inking them up, I'm going to staple them together, and I'm going to glue them in. I decided I wanted to add a focal point to this page, so I'm pulling out these Tim Holtz butterfly stamps that I have in my stash. If they are still available on Amazon, I'll leave a link for them. I'm not certain if they are. I bought them a while ago, but if they're available and I find them, the link will be down below. So I'm just using that vellum coffee dyed paper that I had. I used archival ink because it's waterproof, and because of the different texture of this paper, I just wanted to make sure my ink didn't smear. Now you'll see I accidentally tore the edge of my butterfly wing. Not that that should be a big deal when you're doing collage strip pieces anyway, but it kind of bothered me. But that's okay, I decided to use it anyway. I just added some staples to the side to make it look like it was stapled into the book for added texture, but I am going to be covering that torn butterfly wing. I just don't like the wings of the butterfly being torn, so I pick a little phrase sticker out of this old Tim Holtz sticker book, and I put that over the edge, and voila! No more torn butterfly wing, which makes me happy. It wasn't so much the torn paper as much as the butterfly wing. Anyway, moving on to the next page. So these are some very old stamps that I had in my stash. I liked the lined journaling spots and the fact that this one is oval shaped. So I'm going to be using it to create a little spot there at the top of my book page. I like using old paper. This is the color of the Distress Oxide ink that I have because it doesn't bleed through my book page. It might create a little bit of a shadow effect on the opposite side, but because it's not such a deep color, it doesn't really bleed through so much, and I like that best. So now I'm just going to be creating another little collage strip out of some scraps. And it's time for another little focal point. So I love that vintage book page with the shorthand writing on it. And I'm going to use that as the backdrop for my butterfly. And this time I'm going to be careful not to tear him. So I'm just stamping that onto the old book page, tearing it and adding it again to the journal page. And last but not least, let's decorate this last page here. So this is a vintage cover off of some old music that I had in my little torn up collage stuff, and I just love that old font. I love the old dirty paper of the music cover, and without taking anything away from it, I just want to add that to the top corner just to enjoy seeing that then when I flip through my journal. But I am going to do a little bit of collage work over in the bottom right hand corner. Here I'm just deciding again, sticking with the butterflies, and I'm going to stamp it with that waterproof ink onto my vellum paper and just create that as my focal point on the bottom little cluster that I create. And again, I just have to mention that I am loving that torn up piece of paper. You can just tell by looking at it how fragile it's become over the years. So anyway, you guys, we're coming to the end of this video, and I just want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to watch with me today. If you've been following along in this series, thank you so much. I appreciate you all greatly. Be on the lookout for videos in the upcoming future. Watch out for this final flip through video I've been mentioning and the next collection that will be released. I'll be sharing videos with that along the way as well. So thank you so much everyone for taking the time to watch today. A bunch of links are going to be in that description box down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!